What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED.com, and today we have a 2015 Toyota Corolla we'll be installing LED interior lights on. Now, this installation is compatible with the year models 2013 and up. That's the 11th generation, and it's considered the E170 model for international Corollas and the E160 in Japan. Now, today we're going to be using a PrecisionLED 5730 style premium LED interior lighting kit. And we're going to be installing on our front overhead map lights, the rear dome light, the trunk light, the backup reverse light, as well as the license plate lights. Let's go ahead and get started. We're looking now here at the front overhead map lights. And with every PrecisionLED interior kit, there comes 3 trim tools you can use to assist with the installation. You have a crowbar shaped tool with a fork end. You've got the serrated knife tool with a flat end, and the pointed wedge tool. For this installation, we're going to be using the fork end of our crowbar tool. You're going to come in from the side that is stationary, and by that I mean the center portion that's considered the hinge. And you come in from the bottom here in the front, separate the 2 pieces of the panel, kind of push forward, and that should release. And as you can see, we are popping off the 2 hinge pieces right here, and those are just held on by pressure. You now have access to remove the old halogen bulb. You can just use your fingers to do that. And once you have it out, you can replace it with your new LED. Now, this is a premium 5730, which means that it's not polarity specific. And that means you can plug it in this way and it'll work, or you can turn it around, plug it in the other way, and it also works. If you're using a 50/50 style standard kit, the polarity does matter, so you have to make sure that you have the orientation correct and you test the lights before you're done. Now that we have this one installed and we know it works, all we have to do is take our lens cover. We're going to start here with the side with the tab, and that goes near the switch first. And then you're using some light pressure to force in the 2 sides here near the center. That's 1, and that's 2. And that's it. We're looking now at the overhead dome lights in the rear. We're going to be using the flat end of our serrated knife tool. You're going to come in from the side here, side closer to the switch, to pop out the lens. You want to do it on both sides here, and that will release. And you can see that there are 2 tabs, one here and one here, acting as the stationary side, and this is the side that you would be forcing in and out. Now, there's 2 methods to go about doing this to remove this bulb and access. This entire assembly actually can come out. When you look at, there is a tab here and a tab here, and if you push those back, the assembly starts to come out on either side. Just like that. Now, the only reason to do that is so you have access to this panel, and that's because sometimes when you're working with this and you're pushing, the whole panel comes off, just snaps off. And so the reason I'm showing you how the whole thing removes is in case this whole thing gets pushed up, you have direct access to this. So we're going to work here with this piece first to get our new LED bulb in. Now, this is just a pressure plate that's holding this in place. Just going to go ahead and remove. What I've done, because our LED bulb does not exactly have the pinched ends that the halogen bulb has, as you can see, there's little pinched ends here. The most secure fit, you'll modify this switch just a little bit by pushing this forward, kind of giving it a forward bend, and that'll help to keep the LED bulb securely in place when you're installing it. I use the pliers so you can see a little bit better. Stationary side in first, and then once you have it in, you want to make sure that the LED board is facing down. And that slight indentation here is what's helped to keep the LED board in place. Now, we can put the whole assembly back together. This piece goes on first. Now you do want to remove this, and you can just pull it off here from the side. And you need to remove this because this small portion here lines up with the actual switch here to rock this back and forth. So, when you put this back in place, it just snaps right in. Has some guiding pins that help it. And if we look from this side, okay, that snaps in. And then you take a look here, and you have to measure up where this guiding, this slider is, and the guiding pin. And when you have it in, it just snaps in place. You want to make sure the rocker switch works before you put the lens cover back on. Now, switch faces forward. Now when you're pushing this back into place, you can see that this tab is moving. You need to force this all the way up until it pops back in place. Same for this side here. Push it all the way up till it snaps back in place. And now we can put our lens cover back on. Backside in first. And then you're just putting some light pressure on each side to get it in place. And there you go. You're all set. For the interior trunk light, we're going to be using our point and wedge tool to help release the plastic cage that's covering the bulb. You're just going to come in here from the side, push this back, and that should release the cage from the top. Now you have access to the halogen bulb. Now the bulb is on, so it's a little bit hot. I'm just going to wedge the tool in here and just force the bulb out. And that means I don't have to touch the bulb and potentially burn my hand. Now you can use, if you have a rag or a rubber glove, you can remove the bulb that way as well. Just the point and wedge tool is a little bit easier. Now, we're going to be using a standard 50/50 style LED, and that's because our premiums are a little bit too large to get the center cap back on. And so with our standard LEDs, they are not polarity specific, which means that if you insert them the incorrect way, they won't turn on. And you have to rotate that 180 degrees to reverse polarity. And then as you can see here, it works just fine. Now this one does fit pretty well into the assembly. And you put the cover back on, snaps back into place, and you're all set. We're looking here at the backup reverse light on our driver's side, and to access this light here on the trunk lid, we're actually going to be coming in from the bottom side here. Now this panel, you are going to take some pressure here with your thumb and your pointer finger, push it together, and you should be able to remove the plastic panel. From this point on, it's really simple. You just have a connector here, you twist counterclockwise to unlock, and you got the bulb right here. We're going to be replacing it with one of our premium 5730 style 10 LED backup reverse lights. Simply comes out, and this new one goes in. Now before you do the assembly, we want to make sure that it works. I'm going to go and put the car in reverse and test it out. Now that we know the bulb works, goes back in, and we twist it clockwise to lock that back in place. Now to get our plastic assembly back on, you want to make sure that the wiring goes to this center portion here. And when you're putting it back in, this is the side that has to slide in first in the front. And the rest of it, just push back in place. Just like that. Same thing on the passenger side, and you're all set. To get access to our license plate lights here, you actually have to come from the back side and remove the cloth panel that's covering all your electronics. And to do that, we're removing all the clips here around the side, and actually we only have to do the top half to fold this back to get access to the bulbs that are here and here. As you can see, I've already taken one out here using the crowbar shaped tool, or the fork end here. The way I did that, coming from the top, and wherever you find the bulb or the connection, you start rocking it back and forth, and it pops out. And as you can see, they're just held in by some pressure. Come around to the other side and get the other two in the top. Top four are off, and as you can tell, this whole panel comes down. Now you have access to the bulbs back here. We're going to change the camera angle so you can see what we're doing right up in here. We're looking now at the actual assembly here for our passenger side license plate bulb. The one here over on this side, if you can see, is our driver's side. To remove this, it is a twist to lock connector. And so you're going to be twisting the entire black portion, and that releases the bulb. And all I did there, it was stationary like this, and I twisted it to one side, and that released it from the clips that are holding it at the very ends. Halogen bulb just comes right out. And replacing with an LED. Now this is a specialized short T10 style LED bulb, and this one is polarity specific, so we just need to make sure that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the headlights on to activate the license plate lights. Okay, if they don't work, go ahead and flip this one around and make sure that they're on. Now that they're on, we can go ahead and turn power off. To reinstall this assembly, you're going to be inserting it at the angle, or at a slight angle, and then twisting it to lock it back in place. And there you go. The process is the same for the driver's side as well.
And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there's people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.